You probably clicked on a frequency video because the title promised something. Maybe it said 432 Hz for peace, 528 Hz for love, 963 Hz for spiritual connection, sleep frequency, focus frequency, nervous system reset, emotional release, grounding music, binaural beats, or solfeggio frequency. And you press play hoping the sound would do something. But this is where people get lost. Most people are using frequencies like the number itself is the whole practice. Like if the title says the right hertz, then the body is automatically supposed to know what to do with it. But frequency is not useful just because the number sounds spiritual. Frequency becomes useful when the sound has a job. That is what I mean by frequency as utility. Frequency as utility means using sound, hertz, tone, music, binaural beats, solfeggio frequencies, or other frequency-based audio as a practical support tool. So in this video, I'm not asking, what is the most powerful frequency? I'm asking, what is the sound helping you do? You probably search for a frequency by number, 432 Hz, 528 Hz, 741 Hz, 963 Hz. And by the way the internet talks about these numbers can make it feel like the number itself is magical. But the problem is the number is not the whole practice. The sound still has to meet a living receiver. That means your body, your nervous system, your mood, your attention, your environment, and the state you're in when you press play. So the shift is this. Stop asking which frequency is the most powerful and start asking, what am I using this sound to support? Are you using it to rest? Are you using it to focus? Are you using it to ground? Are you using it to soften emotionally? Are you using it to write? Are you using it to pray? Are you using it to release something? Are you using it to help the room feel different? That question matters because a sound needs a function. A sleep frequency should support rest. A focus track should support attention. A grounding sound should help the body feel present. An emotional release track should help feeling move safely. A spiritual frequency should support connection without pulling you out of your body. That is frequency as a utility. It means the sound has a job. And once you use it this way, you stop hoping the frequency does something and start choosing the sound for a real purpose. You may have played a frequency before and felt calm while someone else played the same track and felt irritated, heavy, emotional, sleepy, or overstimulated. That does not automatically mean the frequency is fake. It means the sound is meeting a different receiver. The signal is the sound being sent into space. The receiver is the person, body, mood, nervous system, emotion, and environment receiving it. So when you play a frequency, the sound is not landing in an empty room. It is landing in you. It is landing in your breath. It is landing in your mood. It is landing in your nervous system. It is landing in your emotional state. It is landing in the room where you are sitting in. It is landing in whether you are anxious, tired, grieving, focused, numb, grounding, open, wired, or already stimulated. That is why the number is not the whole practice. A sound can be beautiful and still not be right for the state you are in that moment. A sound could be powerful and still be too much for your body. A sound can feel spiritual and still not be grounding. So before you decide whether a frequency worked, ask a better question. What state did this sound land in? That is a signal and receiver piece. Frequency as a utility is not just about the audio. It is about the match between the sound and the person receiving it. Before you press play, check your body. Not in a complicated way, just notice what's already happening. How is your breathing? Is your jaw tight? Are your shoulders up? Does your chest feel open or compressed? Do you feel heavy, restless, numb, sleepy, clear, wired, or scattered? Is your mind racing? Are you emotionally flooded? Do you feel grounded or do you feel like you are floating outside of yourself? This is the receiver state reading. Receiver state means the condition of the person receiving the frequency. And this matters because people will choose a frequency from a chart before they check their actual body. They see a video that says emotional release, press play, and then wonder why they feel overwhelmed. They see a video that says third eye activation, press play, and then wonder why they feel ungrounded. They see a focus track, press play, and then wonder why their body feels tense. But the question is, what can your system safely receive right now? If you are already anxious, you may not need something intense. If you are already emotionally flooded, you may not need a release track yet. If you are exhausted, you may not need an activation. If you are scattered, you may need organization. If you're floating, you may need grounding. If you're numb, you may need softening, but not force. So before you press play, ask, what state am I in? And what kind of sound can this state actually receive? That is what protects the practice. A lot of people want one frequency to do everything. They want one track to heal, focus, clear the room, open intuition, regulate the nervous system, manifest love, release trauma, and put them to sleep. But a sound works better when the job is clear. This is where the use case matters. A use case is the reason you are using the tool, so name it. I am using this sound to rest. I am using this sound to focus. I'm using this sound to ground. I'm using this sound to soften. I'm using this sound to release. I'm using this sound to write. I'm using this sound to pray. I'm using this sound to help the room feel calmer. Once you name the use case, then you can choose the support type. Support type means the kind of help this sound is meant to provide. Is this grounding? Is this rest? Is this softening? Is this emotional release? Is this organization? Is this activation? Is this connection? Is this integration? Those are not the same thing. Grounding helps you come back to the body. Rest helps you downshift. Softening helps you loosen your guard. Release helps emotion move. Organization helps scatter attention gather. Activation helps energy rise. Connection supports prayer, meditation, intuition, or spiritual attention. Integration helps the experience land after something opens. So the better question is not, which frequency is the strongest? The better question is, what kind of support do I need? Because the right sound is not always the most dramatic sound. The right sound is the one that fits the job. People do this all the time. They find a frequency that feels powerful and then they think more is better. Louder is better, longer is better, 8 hours is better than 10 minutes, 3 tracks at once is better than 1. But with sound, more is not automatically better. Louder can make your body brace. Louder can overstimulate your system. Stacking too many frequencies can confuse your response. And intensity is not the same thing as usefulness. A frequency can feel strong and still not be supportive. So start simple. Use a low or moderate volume. Let the sound be present but not aggressive. Start with a short session, especially if the frequency is new. 5 to 15 minutes is long enough to begin. Then notice, do you feel more settled? Do you feel clearer? Do you feel softer? Are you more present? Or do you feel pressure, headache, dizziness, anxiety, irritation, restlessness, emotional flooding, or disconnection from your body? Those are signs. And if the sound starts feeling like too much, stop. That does not mean you failed. That means your body gave you information. Frequency is not about proving how much sound you can handle. It is about using the smallest amount that supports the state. And it is also important to say this clearly. Frequency work is not medical treatment. It does not replace therapy, medication, emergency care, diagnosis, medical attention, or professional support. It can be a supportive practice, but support is not the same thing as treatment. After you listen, measure what changed. Not in a fake scientific way, not in a this frequency cured me way. Measurement here means paying attention. Ask, what changed in my body? What changed in my mood? What changed in my mind? What changed in my behavior? What changed in the room? Maybe your breathing slowed down. Maybe your shoulders dropped. Maybe your jaw released. Maybe you cried. Maybe your mind stopped looping. Maybe you could finally focus. Maybe you felt calmer. Maybe the room felt softer. Maybe you got up and cleaned one thing. Maybe you stretched. Maybe you wrote the sentence. Maybe you prayed. Maybe you drank water. Maybe you finally rested. Those are signs of usefulness. A frequency does not have to create a dramatic experience to be useful. Sometimes the best sign is subtle. Your breath lowers, your body stops gripping, your thoughts get cleaner, the next action becomes obvious. You feel present enough to do the thing you were avoiding. That is utility. The sound helps something become usable. So after listening, do not only ask, did I feel something big? Ask, did this sound help me center, notice, shift, or complete the state I needed? That is the better measurement. This is the part people skip. They listen to the frequency, feel something shift, and then jump straight into another video, another notification, another task, another emotional spiral, or another track. But if the sound helped you shift, the shift needs somewhere to go. That is integration. Integration means helping the effect of the sound land in the body, behavior, or environment after listening. So when the audio ends, pause. Do not rush. Ask, what changed? What does my body need now? What practical action is available? Do I need water? Do I need silence? Do I need to stretch? Do I need to write one sentence? Do I need to step outside? Do I need to touch the floor? Do I need to clean one small area? Do I need rest? Do I need to save the idea that came through? Do I need to stop and ground before I keep going? That is how frequency becomes useful. Not because the sound played, because the sound helped us stay open and then you landed it. So the whole method is simple. Give the sound a job, read your receiver state, match the sound to the support type, use a safe volume and duration, notice the response, stop when needed, measure what changed, and integrate the shift. That is frequency as utility. It is not about worshiping a number. It is about not treating every hertz like a guaranteed outcome. It is not about forcing your body to react because the internet said the frequency number was powerful. It is about using sound with purpose, safety, receiver state awareness, and integration. Because sound can shape your attention. Sound can shift your mood. Sound can affect your body state. Sound can support your environment. And sound can help your spiritual practice. But the listener still has to use it consciously. For the full breakdown, this lives in my frequency utility library under Frequency as Utility, How to Use Hertz as a Practical Support Tool. To access the full library, subscribe to my Substack called jamar.substack.com. Your subscription supports this library as well as getting other written works out to you. And if you want, you can go to calljamar.net where there are some cheat sheets and digital guides in relation to frequency hertz. Because if sound is going to shape your body, your attention, your emotions, your space, and your spiritual practice, then you deserve the language for what the frequency is helping you do.